Hi everyone, so today I have Spellbinders club kits for October of 2025 to share with you guys today. I have the Deluxe Caboodle, so it's every club kit. Again, you can pick them up separately. You can do the, Caboodle. If you have some of the older value club kits and you haven't canceled them, you can continue getting those, right? But if you do cancel, I do want to say, in case you haven't heard that, you can't get back in it because the only other value club that they're offering now is the Deluxe Caboodle and then just a la carte each club on its own. So, I will say clear stamp, you can get it with the dies, right? Because that's kind of a bundle, but I don't know why you want dies without the stamp, right? So anyhow, they did send these items free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And the links I'll have in the description box for the US and the UK will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So I really appreciate if you use those, and thank you for using them in advance. So as I was laying this out, I already saw, this tree. I was like, oh, okay, so it's very Christmassy, but kind of more wintry and Christmas. I don't know, but a lot of cute sets this month. So I'm super excited to share them. I really love when they have sets that like coordinate in a way, like the artwork is kind of similar. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But generally, I just go through. I'll show you. Ooh, look at this! Something new, something different for the wax seal of the month. I usually start with the embossing folders and stencils and then clear stamp and all those kinds of things. So let's start here. Okay, so the embossing folder of the month, again, it's an oversized folder. It is 8 3/4 by 5 3/4, but it embosses an area. Same thing with the other one. That is 8.5 by 5.5. And this one happens to be called Holiday Flurries or Holiday Flurries. That is very cute. I love the little, I don't know if it's fir or Douglas fir or whatever it is, those kinds of things. There's spruce here, sprigs. There are snowflakes, and then the holly, and then little dots here and there. And this is your standard embossing folder. It's very, very cool. I know people ask if I can put something behind it so you can see it better. Generally, I end up using them, obviously, but let me grab a piece of cardstock. I feel like black cardstock actually does a better job. So there you go. And I'll leave that there very slowly, I suppose. It's really pretty. Gorgeous. And then the next one is the 3D embossing folder that is a little bit thicker than your standard embossing folder, so you definitely want to have a machine that's going to accommodate that. You can't just put this in any machine that does the standard and think this is going to work. You're going to need to have a different sandwich, or your machine was already made to work with this kind of thing. But they are a bit thicker, so hopefully, I don't know where people are on their journeys of crafting, so you can see it's a thicker folder. So you definitely have to accommodate for that. And it is called Brick by Brick. And as you can see, it is lots of bricks. It looks almost like it might have even a snowy look on it, maybe, in some of these areas. Or maybe they're just making it look grungy. However you want to use that. Really, really cool. And again, that 3D look that we love so much here from Spellbinders. So just up and carved in and, relief that's higher and lower and all that kind of stuff. So very, very cute. That's going to be really great for a lot of cards, not just Christmas cards, but everyday kind of cards. The stencils, Frosty Wishes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have not looked at these. I just put these things on here. That's why I can kind of see what's going on a little bit. Sometimes I can't even make out what's going on with some of these, but I figured I thought, if these are the bodies for this small die, these must be the heads. And then I can see that shape kind of fits in there. So I figure things out as I go along, but this is so cute now that I can see that the snowman. I didn't even look at it. So again, Frosty Wishes. It looks like it's going to make an A2 size stencil there. So you have this outline. So this part I would assume would be the background, so maybe some light blue or whatever, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stencils. They are numbered 1. Number 2 has the band and the cheeks. So if those want to be red, you can do that once, or there's a lot of separation between the two, so you can definitely do 2 different colors. 3 is the black accents, so I can see that'd be these portions, the eyes, and the little coal for the mouth. 4 is just the carrot nose there, or corncob nose, whatever. Isn't that what people say? Or a corncob pipe, huh? The carrot nose, I don't know. And then these are accent pieces for all those things, so for the nose there, it looks like, let me see. Oh, little eyebrows. So, yeah, it looks like eyebrows. I don't know. And then some cute, just something different in the little band there. And, like a scarf, right? So it goes right under his little face. And again, they're all separate enough that they can be different colors and you're not, having to be too careful about that. It's very cute. The clear stamp of the month, which again is a photopolymer stamp every month, always. You have this larger, A Very Merry Christmas to You. You can color that in or however you want to use that. And then a ton of sentiments. And this month it's called To You and Yours. So we have wishing you a Christmas that feels like home. Cozy wishes from our home to yours. All is calm and bright. Merry Christmas to all. Things like that. Right? So you can pause there if you want to read those. And let me give you a measurement on this guy. Oop, that's the wrong side. And it is just over 4 inches tall and almost 3 inches wide. Okay, so that gives you a good idea. And then the dies, of course, if you do this stamp and the die, if you're getting the Deluxe Caboodle, comes with all these things that I'm showing you, but then you have the dies for that and all the words, which is really fun. I think 7. Let me see, 3, 7, yeah, okay. Sometimes I'll leave off a couple of the, dies for certain phrases, but this time they have them all. This one, this stuff is all scattered about. I'm sorry, because it was hard for me to get them on here in a way that made sense. I like to try to put things together in a way that makes sense so you can see it and say, oh, okay, I get it. Actually, I messed that up a little bit. Let's bring this one up here, and this piece there, I want to say. Yeah, like that. Okay. So the small die of the month is this piece right here, right down to this little kind of squiggly, okay? And it is called Snow Day Friends. And generally, I'll give you measurements if something's large. These are all smaller dies. I mean, even the smallest machine could accommodate this. Well, there are some machines that are only 2-inch opening, but any other machine that doesn't have a 2-inch opening that's larger than that will be fine. What you have here is like a little snowy scene. So you're going to have your tree and then like little snow on it. Some other pieces, you're building like a little snowman here, right? And I might have put this upside down, but either way, you have the 2 little lumps at the bottom with a little coal, and then the top one with the inlay, and then you're going to have the carrot nose there, and you have little wood arms, I suppose, twig arms there. And then you have 2 little guys, little characters, you kind of looking at them from this, like if they have their backs turned to you, basically. Working on the snowman, and maybe one's making a little ball. I mean, you can just do this without the insert or however. And so these are the legs, and these are the boots that go into that. The little boots go over here, and this one goes with this guy's body. This one goes with this guy's. I think they did a really nice job of doing the embossed line, so you can understand that. And of course, I get samples, so that's why mine look like this. They're like in a plastic bag. Yours will be on a carrier with some inspo, some instruction if that's what it needs. And you'll have that. These are their heads. You have scarves and other cute things that help you out. This is like the little hair that goes on here. So again, their faces are turned away from you. This is like the hat for this one, and this one has like I was gonna say a bun, but I guess it's supposed to be like a little like a slouchy hat with a little, puff here on there. So you have that, a little pom-pom, should I say. And then their gloves, right? And so you have all those pieces, and then accent pieces for all these different things. And then you have this little line to make, snow banks or however you want to do it, or like just have some more detail. This guy over here, which is all the way down here, this is the large die of the month, okay? And it makes a really cool scene. It's called Window Wonderland. So if you look at it, you have this. You have all these pieces. I was moving things around as I go. It looks like a big like bay window or like a built out like window, or what's that called? I don't know, where it has like a little bench or something. But either way, it's like a big window. And your little tree would go inside there. You have lights. You have the curtains. You have inserts if you want to make it look like real old school and cool, like this insert. You don't have to use the inserts. You can just have that one because these all have these pieces. So if you just had that cut out, so you can see through it, so you can see the trees on the side here. Maybe the curtains are in here. And you can see the curtains follow the same shape. So those would be in there. And then you have, again, however much you want to do the tree. I don't think you're going to see the base of it if it's in here, but it does have the bases and stuff like that because you can use it for another card, right? Maybe you just want the tree or however. You have this cute light string, again, with the lights. You have the same kind of little character here with the sled and things. This actually excuse me, my goodness, makes like snow. So that's what it is, like a lump of snow. Another line, snow line, whatever it is you want to do, you know, outside the window here. So this character, very similar to the one before with the head and then the body and the little boots or I guess those are legs more like that with the boots. Scarf, all these things, a little, you know, bundle of gifts that you can put on the sleigh, suppose, however you want to do that, or maybe put it under the tree if you can see that much of it. The bows and everything that, you know, for that. I believe some of these pieces have to do with the sled, is how I would make it out, because I'm kind of looking at this, I'm just, you know, that's what it looks like. Different accents for the clothing and whatever else you want to do with your little character. As you can see, his little arms out, pulling the sled. So, I know that looks kind of wonky, but that's how that goes. So just really cool. Let me give you a measurement on this largest die. It's this guy. And it is 3 5/8 deep, but the width of it, metal to metal, is like 3 3/4. Just a little bit bigger than 3 3/4, okay? That's the biggest guy. And then we have the stitching die of the month, which is over here. It's a very curious little set. As I was putting it out, I figure, you know, this circle here. And then I saw the name is called Peppermint Prancer. So you're going to have this little reindeer that like sits on top of this. So I don't know if you can see, you have this big circle and you have it inlay. So you want to do the stitching, and then you have this piece. So you'll have peppermint look in a couple different ways. You know, with this piece, don't use that piece, however you want to do it. And the words J and Y, so I'm assuming it means joy with the big O, right? J. O-Y. And then you have some berries and things. You have the accents, obviously, for your little reindeer, his little horns or antlers that go behind there, the accents to his ears, little muzzle, and then the muzzle also has like the little nose that you can stitch up. And then you have some holly just for funsies, right? So you have the holly berries over here to help you complete that. The bonus for the Deluxe Caboodle is something that's going to help you work with this too, or give you more options. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. The Glimmer of the month I did not bring out because I didn't have space on here, so let me grab that. This is how I get my samples, guys. Sometimes they're packaged correctly, but a lot of times they're just like this. Let's see. Magic Wonderland is what it's called, and then it has polished brass. So, okay. So this is a big background plate. Look how cute that is. I love the little stars. That is so cute with the little flurries and the hearts. Very fun. Again, can be wintry. It can be, you know, Christmassy. It's 5 5/8 by probably 4. Yeah, just actually 4 3/8. So it's just an 1/8 of an inch all around, bigger than an A2 size. And then it has all these sentiments here. So we have Merry and Bright, Sending Christmas Magic, Joyous Noel, and Let It Snow and Sparkle. Okay, so you have those cute words there, sentiments. And this month it's supposed to, I believe, come with polished brass. Again, it does say colors may vary, so you might receive a different color, but this is the color that is intended, your polished brass. Okay, it's a little different than the gold. If you compare them side by side, this one has more of a brassy color to it, or tone to it, right? So we have that. Let's talk about the wax seal, because that way I can talk about this new piece that it comes with. So, hold on, my wax seal this month, again, I have this sample. You will have a whole handle and the whole thing. I know some people request, they're like, oh, you know, we've had so many months or years that we've been doing this that they have a lot of handles. They should just get the head, but they send you the whole thing. Every month it's the whole head with everything on it. But it's called Merry and Bright this month, and it is Merry and Bright is what it says in a nice font. Script. And it is 1 inch, I would say, square. It looks like it might be shy of 1 inch, just a little bit shy. Okay, so that's this month's wax seal. And this month, the intention is that it comes with this. Now, again, it does say colors may vary and things like that. I don't know if that means they would send you wax, you know, seal, the waxes, the little bits, or a different color of this. I don't know. And I just say that because sometimes people say, hey, you never mentioned that you might get something else. Okay, so I'm mentioning it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm just letting you know. Bullion wax seal powder in silver. And so this is something that's a little bit new. So I'm definitely, you know, looking forward to using this. It just says to create your wax seal stamp, let it cool. Apply bullion powder with applicator, tool, or finger. So that'll be very interesting. I'm thinking maybe I use it on my nails because there's something else like this people use on their nails. But that is really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. We will try that out very shortly. Okay, so that's the wax seal. And then the BetterPress of the month. The last thing. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I had it stacked like with all these things as you see, so I just brought it out because I didn't need to put it anywhere. I had not seen that. That is adorable. Oh my gosh, look at them. The little snowman. Look at this guy. Oh no, there was a little accident. This is so cute. What is this called? Made with snowflakes. So yeah, I mean, I wrote down real quick the names of these guys. I wouldn't assume it was something like this. This is so cute. So the plate itself is like 5 3/8 inches, maybe just over 5 1/4, I would say. And then in the other direction, it's just about 4 1/8 of an inch, I would say. So that is so adorable. Oh my gosh. And then it has things like made with love and snowflakes, and then sending frosty wishes, and then let it snow. Oh, I thought this was one piece, so these are two different things. So sending frosty wishes and then let it snow. This is adorable. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is... I don't have no words. Okay, so that's that guy. And then if you do get the Deluxe Caboodle, your bonus this month will be this one called Magic for You. And it says it works with the stitching die of the month. I will say sometimes people ask, can you get this later? Sometimes they do let you purchase the add-ons, well, not add-ons, but bonus items later, but not always, so I don't know. And then also I think you have to be like a member to be able to see them. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I'll have to... People will let me know in the comments. So if there's somebody commenting there, you can get that info. But it comes with this die, which is very nice. And Believe in Magic, like the inlay there, the word for, and then the letter U, because you have the J and the Y, which you think J-U-Y, no. So it's U, Y-O-U, right? So you can do like Believe in Magic, I guess, and then for you. You know, I think they're just extra things. So you have that, and then, but for, and then Y-O-U with the peppermint look, right? So that's what that's for. Just a couple different sentiments you can add in if you would like. So, generally in a video like this, I always let you guys know I do something that's a little quicker because it took a while to go through everything, and I know not everyone has all day to be watching the videos. So, let me think about what I want to do. I'm thinking maybe that stencil. A lot of times I end up doing the stencil because you think, oh, it has all these layers, but it's so fast, you know? So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll add a sentiment or however. And I will be right back. I cannot get over how adorable this is. Oh my goodness, it's just so cute. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just grabbed a background piece here. I grabbed a piece of white cardstock. This is bigger than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I'm just gonna start with that and then I'll cut it down. So I want to make sure, yeah, okay. So I'll place it like right in here, right up to the very edge, and then I'll just cut the sides. And if you have a grip mat, this is a great time to use it, of course. Oopsie. And we will just get started. So this background piece, again, whatever background color you like. I'm thinking bluish kind of color, so we'll start with that. I am going to use these blending tools that take a long time to blend up, but that's just how it is. Not too bad there. They're just very gentle, so it takes a minute to build up the color if you really want a lot of color. And generally, when I do my stenciling, I don't put in a ton of color, but I will say for this one, maybe I go for deeper tones than I normally do, because it's what we have, right? It's the whole topper, so this is... I think a good time to really make it bold, or more bold than I normally would. And I still feel like that's enough. So that's number 1. Of course, I'm going to cut off these sides, so I'm not worried about them. And this is a water-based dye ink I'm using, so I'll just rinse that off, no big deal. Let me see what number 2 has, because... this balloon was right on top of my pile of inks, and I was like, yeah, ready to go. I will say, if you want him facing a different way, you can definitely use the stencil on the opposite side. You know, just turn him over, and then he'll face, you know, to the right. Right now he's facing to the left. If that's something that you want or works for your, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. Again, I did not use the guides. So these are the guides, but essentially I put this at the very top right, and now I'm just all confused. Okay, like where should I put this? Oh yeah, okay. So if I use those as the top corners, I think I'm still good because I can see that this really frames out what I did before. So that's how I'm gonna use it. Put that here. in here. And again, I do want a red sash there, so I will grab some red ink. Easier said than done. I got a lot of things going on. Let's put this up. I know I have one of these I used with red already, and I don't see it here, so I must have left it somewhere last time I used it. So I am not going to dirty another one with red. What I'm going to do is just grab something else. Oh, here. My older brushes that I was using. I'll use crimson. There's some inside the lid for some reason, so I'll just take that. Again, I don't really care about these sides because we're going to cut that off. We do have a second piece, though, that goes up here, which is the last stencil, if you guys recall. Kind of cute if you want to do like a glitter paste on that last one. That'd be cute for that last accent. Okay, and then this I don't want too bright, but I'm not going to switch out the color, so I'm not going to dip any more color. I'm just going to get a little bit of rosiness there. Cute. Okay. Let's get the third one on here. And again, you have your little areas there that'll help you line things up, but I'm just eyeballing it at this point. Oh, I think I did okay. All right, there we go. Pretty good. Now this one is going to bring black into the situation here. So I'm telling you, if you use VersaFine ink, it is so pigmented like that, just really gets on there. But I think I'm going to build up as much as I can, just a water-based ink. And so it's going to take a minute. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that, but this whole next one is just black. So let me grab that. Take this guy. And really just color that in. And again, like I said, this thing builds up the color so slowly. Be very patient. But I'll be back. Just black on the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to say that's... I'm going to call it on that one. Aw, so cute. Okay. And then let me clean up just a little bit because I know the next one's going to have a few colors. Oh, well, not the next one. This one's just the carrot nose, but the next one. So let me get that going. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get our orange going for the carrot nose. And I'm not going to use these markers right now. I'm just going to eyeball what's going on here. I would say, I guess if you go like this and line it up, it's going to overlap just a little. Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. So I'll just leave it there. I was going to eyeball the way I would normally put it without overlapping at all. Because a little bit, I know you don't see it, but I can see it. It's a little bit hanging out there. I'm going to go with a deeper orange. Okay, yeah, the next one does have a little bit of texture to it. Look how cute. And then the last one that's going to have something for the band. I will say I did look at the intended examples for this guy right now, and just to make sure I was telling you correctly, you know, from when I went the first time, talked about it, because I'm going to use it right now. So I thought, well, let me check out some examples right quick. And yeah, so I talked about it. Obviously, it's very straightforward. The only thing I will say, this, instead of being like a scarf, you can do with like a little bit of gray. It's supposed to look like a shadow, like his little neck, I guess, just to give it more, I don't know, dimension, but just a little something more, right? If it was just plain, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's cute. But this just gives it a little something more. So I'm just going to use that same black. I didn't even dip it again. I just used whatever to go on there. Same thing with these little eyebrows. I'm just going to get in there a little bit. I didn't add any more color. I'm just trying to get in here to add a little accent, okay? And if it's not enough, I'll come back and do more. Okay, and then the orange, that is my darkest orange, so I'm just going to do it again. Color on top of color can give you more saturation, of course, so it looks like something else, like you use different color or however. Okay, I think that's good enough. And then the red, so I want to go with a dark red, which I might have already used, but let me see. I don't have another one. Maybe this red is darker than the crimson. I think it is. But again, maybe some glitter paste, something fun right up here. So I'm going to really scrub in there, get that color going. cute. The gray came out like perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me clean up. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to A2 size. Generally, I like to have a little bit of my card showing around the edges, but this one, you know, if I cut more off, you're only going to cut a little bit off. You're going to cut away from somewhere. So, I mean, that's up to you. Maybe I'll still take a little. Let me see. This is lined up nicely. If I put this here, let's see what that looks like. I could have started off with an A2 size piece of paper, but I just decided to cut it down afterwards. So that's 4 1/4. Yeah, it's like right on the edges, you know, 4 1/4, and then 5 1/2. And this was very much the top of that stencil. So if I go to 5 1/2, I only used the littlest bit. There you go. It's gonna look just like that. So even if I take 1/8 of an inch, which would be a 1/16 off of each side, it's gonna feel more claustrophobic, no? So I'll leave it like this. I'm just gonna grab a card base. I'm trying to think, maybe just a white card base. If that's the case, I'll just grab this one here. I have some card bases that are ready to go. Again, if you're cutting your own, this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm gonna fold that guy. And I'm just going to glue that down. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just put something heavy on top of that. Keep it nice and flat. And wash these off. Looking perfect. Even if they get stained, obviously they're plastic. They're going to keep working. If you get a little glitter on there, you know, if you use like a paste, sometimes it wants to stick really well. And so it'll still keep working. It's not a big deal. I'm thinking about using one of the stamps and just like stamping it. Wishing you a season full of wonder. And it doesn't have to be out here. I mean, it can just be like that and then that can be there. But I'll put it here. Really interesting stamp. The stencil. It's very, I don't want to say Art Deco, like linear, like, what's that called? There's a certain kind of art that's like that, where it's just like graphic design. I don't know. Well, graphic design just means graphic design. You know what I'm saying? It just has a very linear look to it. It's cute. Okay. So I am going to go right to it, and if I mess it up, I'll, you know, put a band across there, which I don't want to do that, but hopefully we can just get this guy and not worry about it. So I'm going to go right here, not let it move, and just make sure I'm making contact in all edges, all areas of the stamp. That's what's nice about photopolymer. You can push it pretty hard and it's not going to give you that ghosting because it's a very firm material. Yay! That was dangerous, but we got it. How cute. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching this month. I mean, just super adorable. Again, Christmassy, more holiday, well, holiday, it's the same thing, but like wintry. You know, you can play it up different ways. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links as appropriate there in the description box. And I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.